The following episode may contain inappropriate material. Listener discretion is advised.
Everybody, welcome to another fabulous episode of Mattalk. It is Monday mornings. You know what that means. Grab your coffee, kick your feet up, and listen to John and I as we dive into Mattalk, the therapist.
You know what, Jason, before we get into that, we are going to start something new on this episode. People that have interacted with us on Facebook or Twitter, we're going to mention their names. So if I may, I'm going to call this kind of the roll call, if you want to call it that. First of all, over the last few days here, I want to thank some of the great folks, and I hope I don't mess up too many names here. I'm going to try to do this without messing up names. Of course, Tiffany Stone, thank you for liking Mattalk on Facebook, as well as Tina Marie Trimpert. Thanks Bella Kittrell and Nicole Sanders. You all have stated in the last week or so how much you enjoy Mattalk, and you gave us a like on the Facebook page, which of course is at Mattalk Podcast. So thank you very, very much. There's so many others in the past that have liked Mattalk. Sorry that we haven't given you your proper due. Here's how to fix that. Like it again, right? There you go. It'll show up in the stats, and then we can say your name on the air. How about that? How's that sound?
Sounds fantastic. And you can also email us. Like, if you joined us and you've been following us from the beginning, email us. Give us your name. I don't mind shouting it out. It's Ben Mattalk at BenMattalk@gmail.com.
And don't forget, we're also on Twitter. And I know the Twitter account is not as robust as the Facebook, because Twitter's hard. It's a little bit of a difficult social media app to use, right, Jason?
It's tedious. I have any trouble with anything outside of Facebook. It's my remembering to post on any of them outside of Facebook, just because Facebook is so ingrained in our souls that I have the problem with the Three Geeks too. I just cannot remember that Twitter and Instagram need love too.
Anyways, yeah, I just laugh because I can think of Zuckerberg's zombies. That's what we are anymore, right?
That's right.
There you go. Well, anyways, we're glad you're joining us for this episode. So, Jason, without any further ado, shall we get into our opening statements?
We shall.
All right, it's time for our opening statements. As I mentioned, Jason, this episode is called The Therapist. If you wanted to be funny and do the old Saturday Night Live shtick, the Celebrity Jeopardy, you could do the old, I'll take the rapist for 200, Alex. Anyways, you could do that joke if you wanted to.
I didn't know you had a Sean Connery in you, John.
I did. Was it decent?
That's all right.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Really short phrase. Yeah, it's fine. And we're recording this on John's birthday, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that. So let's all just sing quietly to John. Happy birthday to you. That's all I'm going to do, because I don't want to lose listeners by singing the whole song.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yes, I am celebrating my birthday today as of this recording. So there you go. There's another reason why you should listen and tell everybody about this podcast. It would be a great birthday gift. And it will cost you $0. All right, but let's get back to the episode, The Therapist. It originally aired on March 3rd, 1987. And Jason, we have a couple of guest stars, and then we have kind of the reemergence of another character. And in fact, let's talk about that right now. This will be the first appearance of Carrie Leiser as Cassie Phillips. Now, many of you probably will recall that we talked about this several episodes ago, in which we reviewed the episode called The Angel, where Carrie Leiser played Angel, a hard-partying rock and roll singer who had some problems with the law because she was accused of murdering her manager. And so here she is recast as Cassie Phillips, who basically becomes kind of the assistant to Ben and, in this episode, Tyler. I guess let's talk about it. Jason, are you a fan of this character?
Not at all. I mean, I'm sure she's going to get better. And I was upset when I found out that we get her for a whole season, but it is what it is. Obviously, they found something. I just found her kind of annoying, almost like a bumbling sidekick. She kept doing things that really made Ben mad.
Okay, we're gonna leave. I'm not gonna comment on because I'm gonna leave my comments for my notes because I have a few things connected to Cassie Phillips as well, some opinions I should say. Let's talk about the guest stars. The first one, who literally is in the episode for like 5 minutes, Kevin Hagen plays Dr. Halvrin, and he was very well known for his role as Dr. Baker on Little House on the Prairie. Here we go, two kind of more wholesome television programs, Mattalk and Little House on the Prairie, and this guy in the role as a doctor on both of them. I thought that was kind of coincidental, kind of an interesting, that's a cool fact to know.
He also guest starred on Perry Mason.
Yes, he did. Indeed, he did. So Kevin Hagen, who, again, will only be in this episode for about 5 minutes. But let's talk about the more important one. The guest star that I want to talk about has got quite a resume. Sarah Douglas plays Barbara Sutcliffe, and you may know her from playing the roles of Pamela Lynch on Falcon's Crest, playing Pamela in V, The Final Battle. And here you go. She's also Ursa from Superman 1 and 2.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, she was part of the crew with General Zod, who was there to destroy Superman.
And Conan the Barbarian. So she's worked with Superman and the Terminator.
She has.
And she's still going. She's in the Christmas Prince movies.
I'm sorry, what did you say? The Christmas Prince?
Yeah, I think that's a Netflix series of films. She is also in that. She was recently in Supergirl. So she's still hanging out.
I'm going to deviate here just for a moment, and listeners, please just bear with me for a moment. What many of you may or may not know is that Jason is a big fan of cheesy Christmas movies. You know, like the ones you might see on Hallmark, movies and mysteries, where Mattalk airs. Jason, have you watched the Christmas Princess episodes or shows?
I think I saw the first one.
And?
I'm sure I loved it, John. I don't remember. I watched so many of them, and I loved them all.
See, no, I think that's a cop-out. I think if it was really good, you would remember it.
I mean, I didn't say really good, but I'm saying I think I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right.
Yes, I did enjoy this one a lot because it's about a reporter who goes undercover in their house and should try to get the scoop on the prince, who's somewhat of a playboy, and then they end up falling in love. And then it's revealed who she really is, and they have to get over that hurdle. You know, the typical.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, with that then, Jason, are you ready to give an opinion? Your opinion, and only your opinion, so help you?
Yes.
Then it's time to testify. All right, here's the plot of this episode. A famous movie star is staying at a clinic and must deal with keeping his secrecy as to why he's there. But when a doctor ends up dead, all eyes are upon this famous movie star. We often talk about the opening scene, and Jason, this is quite an opening scene. We have a guy. Actually, we don't really know who it is, so I shouldn't say it's a guy. It could be a young lady, too. We have a person sneaking around the Halvrin Clinic, snapping pics of a shirtless Brett. And Brett barges into Dr. Halvrin's office, interrupting his session with Barbara to complain about this paparazzi. Just go with me on this. Is this guy Brett, is he the equivalent of Adam Driver in 1987? You know what I mean? Because Adam Driver has a lot of roles where he's shirtless, Jason.
Yes, he does. Adam Driver, yeah, the awkward moment in Star Wars The Last Jedi. There's nothing wrong with a man being shirtless, and nothing wrong with Adam Driver being shirtless. He just likes to not have a shirt.
And let's be honest, I mean, if I had abs like him, I'd probably be shirtless a lot more often as well. Let's just being honest.
Yeah.
All right, so as Brett is removed from the office, he goes past some random guy, and they say, "Hey, isn't that famous movie star? I thought he was taller." Is that like a joke about Patrick Swayze? Because that was the joke that they always used with him, right? Do you think Andy Griffith was taking a jab at Patrick Swayze? Because that's not cool, Andy, if you were doing that.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Maybe. In my mind, Andy requested that being written into the script because he's not a fan of Roadhouse. He did not like Roadhouse. Anywho. Okay. Enter Andy Griffith as Ben Mattalk. He enters his office to find Cassie asleep at his desk. Ben is completely puzzled as to why she's there. And then Cassie, in some weird way, scams her way into an internship with Ben. I absolutely hated this. Your thoughts?
Yes, super annoying. She comes in, she's like, I met you at this thing in Chicago, and you promised me a job, and I'm here to collect on that job, and let's be besties and let me work for you. There's an empty office right there, which already, to me, seems like they're pushing Linda Pearl out. This is the second episode without Linda Pearl, and this is an obvious attempt at a replacement, even though she doesn't really become the official replacement. And, it just all seemed kind of jarring.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. Then she makes a comment about, like, oh, you don't remember me because I had pink hair and earrings. Was that supposed to be like, oh, let's kind of like give a little nod to the fact that she was in The Angel, but not really admit that it's the same, actress? I did not like this setup at all. I thought this was really just shoehorned in, and like, how do you not know? Like, it made Ben seem like, hey, I tell all the young girls they can have a job, Like, it just kind of, it made it seem very creepy and stupid, to be bluntly honest. So
yeah, I didn't even think about that as a nod back, but it probably was. It's probably a little wink at the audience. Even that's weird because this show never does that.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it does later on, but not like now.
Yeah. All right, so there's a TV news report that Brett is indeed at the Halvern Clinic, and so Brett is so mad, he leaves his room, he goes to Dr. Halvern's office, and he finds him dead. And he does what Jason loves, is he picks up the murder weapon. Actually, for you new listeners, Jason hates that, right?
Oh my God, man. I was watching him. He's standing at the door. He doesn't go in right away. I'm like, all right, you're doing it right, man. You're doing it right. Then he starts walking towards the body. And I'm like, oh boy. And then he bent down and he grabbed it. And sure enough, the cop's right there behind him to catch it. Every time. Cop's always right there.
And it's his ISO bar. For those of you that maybe aren't so familiar with that, it's like the springy thing that, gym rats use to get a pump on, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what muscles you exercise. I mean, it's your arms, but I don't know what they are. But
backtrack just a little bit. When Ben walks into his office, sees Cassie looking like she's dead in his chair, he does the appropriate thing. He slowly walks up to her, and he just puts his two fingers over her wrist to catch her pulse as he's trying to tap her awake.
Okay.
He doesn't just dive in there like head first, like, let's get DNA everywhere.
Man, that would have been a much better episode if Cassie was dead at his desk. I'm just saying real quick. That would make this episode 10 times better. So the next scene, we have Cassie interviewing Brett in Ben's office. Ben arrives. He's very much annoyed. Ben takes the case after scolding Cassie. And I wrote this down. At this point, to me, this is my opinion. It seems that Andy Griffith is just phoning it in. He just doesn't seem to have that same spark. There's no energy in his performance. He's not relaying that the lines with any type of vigor or any type of oomph. It's just like he's there. Like, it's Wednesday. We're shooting this scene. What do you need me to say? Just kind of, I don't know. Maybe, am I wrong on that? Did you pick up on that vibe?
No, not really.
Okay. Here's my next question. What the hell does the Halvern Clinic do? Because that's never answered, is it?
Therapy.
What kind of therapy? Is it therapy because of, I guess they hint that it's anxiety, but there's lots of different therapies that you would go see a psychologist or psychiatrist about.
One that he wants to record and keep a whole case of VHS tapes that doesn't ever get explored as to why.
Yes. In fact, that's my next note, is that when Ben interviews Alex and Dr. Lindstrom, there's this whole thing about there are VCR tapes of the sessions. And as you said, there's no explanation as to why we're recording them. Are we recording them without their knowledge? Do they agree to this? Nothing.
Is there like some kind of written consent?
Yeah, and like, what are you going to review it? Like, you're going to go back and go, oh, let's see what Jeremy said on February 23rd. Like, it just seems very, very 80s that they would have, like, oh, we have a camcorder. Let's fit that into the script. You know what I mean? All right, so Tyler is confused for a porter or a driver as he stops by Barbara's place to give her a subpoena. It's like, wow, that kind of a little bit insensitive if you ask me. And he notices that she has a gigantic ring of keys, so he just takes them. I'm like, isn't that breaking the law? You just can't take someone's keys. I don't think you get away with that, Tyler. But then he goes down a couple of doors and he hands a subpoena to Josh too. And it is discovered from Tyler that there might be somebody else in the room. And you know what? You're not allowed to have guests over when you're staying at the Halvern clinic. Jason, what do you think about this whole set of scenes featuring Tyler Hudson?
I love Tyler. I really do. I thought we were going to get an episode without Tyler because he doesn't show up for quite a minute.
Sure. Agreed. But you were happy with his, were you pleased with his subpoena scene?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, those two other guys that were in the limo, like we're not there yet. I'll save it.
No. Let's talk about it. Yeah, there's two guys they're goons that they're in a limo, and they kind of kidnap Josh, kind of.
That the plot goes nowhere.
Yeah,
there's no reason for those two guys to be in this episode.
Exactly, and I bet I know what you were going to say. I bet you were going to talk about how Tyler outwitted the two goons.
Yeah, by crawling underneath the car. Well, he is the whiz, John.
I like that the goons never thought to look under the car. They heard something. They get out of the car. They never bother to look under the car. Which
Do you
is
see the goons, though?
place.
I don't think they're fit. I don't think they can bend that low.
They were a little pudgy, weren't they?
Yeah. But again, I this episode, the whole time I'm thinking, man, I wish Mattalk was a little bit more serialized because I would like to see some of these threads play out a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. But alas, it is not. So we go back to Ben's office, and Cassie has rearranged his law books, and Ben is super mad. I wrote this down again. I hate this relationship. I am not a fan of this. This is just driving me bonkers, this relationship between Cassie and Ben.
Cassie's kind of obnoxious, and she's pushing herself on Ben. And I get it. She means well. But this show is not the kind of humor that the Cassie-Ben relationship is trying to introduce. I'm not in it. You never walk into somebody's house and just start reorganizing their stuff. And I know it's not the house, it's the office. Even more important because, people could walk into my office and think it's a mess. But I know where everything is.
Yes.
You start organizing it, then I can't grab it as fast because I have to relearn. I don't know. I know she thought she was doing a good thing. She was putting in an alphabetical order or whatever, but it's not always the best.
And you know what? And I agree with you. I feel like the comedy or the levity that we oftentimes get with Mattalk is based on good, solid relationships with Tyler or good, solid relationships with Michelle Thomas in subsequent seasons and good, solid relationships with Charlene. And this is just, this relationship is not clicking. Again, I will bring it up that I think in this scene too, Andy Griffith's just phoning it in. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a crap. He's just, I'm here. And it's showing on the screen, I believe. Well, Tyler shows up at the office and he reveals that Josh is hooking up with a young woman. And so this leads to the discovery that Cassie is gone MIA and she's heading over to Kimberly Bradshaw's place to confront her about the affair with Josh. And then, Jason, your favorite goons show back up and they grab Cassie as Tyler watches and he can't do much to rescue her. I thought that this was pretty obvious what was going to happen the minute that they opened the door to Charlene's office and Cassie's gone. As I'm like, she's going over there to discover and she's going to get in trouble. And what do you know? It happens.
again, this is the last time we see those two goons, and it goes nowhere. She's returned.
Yeah, she's right. We're just gonna move on to that. I'm skipping a courtroom scene for a minute because Tyler shows up in at the end of this first courtroom scene and tells Ben about Cassie's abduction. And so Ben's like, well, I'll go to the office. And Tyler, I forget where he says he's going. And so, yeah, Ben finds Cassie in the office just typing up a report. And she's like, oh, yeah, I met Kimberly, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, there you go. As you said, Cassie just escapes somehow from the goons. It's never mentioned. It's played off as, oh, we grabbed the wrong girl. Never mind. Like,
yeah,
that's a
they let her go.
thing.
She said that they let her go because she explained the situation, that the lady didn't know that the guy was married. If these guys are really goons, I don't think that's going to end the whole thing.
No, they're pulling out some teeth with pliers to get more information that clearly Cassie doesn't have, and she's just going to end up tortured and whatnot. Yeah, Let's go back to the first courtroom scene. Ben accuses Barbara and Dr. Halvern of having an affair. And the keys that were taken by Tyler are a clue because Barbara reveals that she's actually now having an affair with Alex Fenton, who, of course, as we mentioned before, is kind of like the handyman around the place. Like he fixes cable and he does other stuff. And that's where the keys play in, is that, Alex would have all the keys and that's where it plays in. I don't know. I found like this was kind of just, again, like haphazardly thrown in here. Who cares that Barbara's having an affair with Dr. Halvern? It just, to me, I was like, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
This whole story,
You're so frustrated you can't even put it to words. That's how rank this episode is. Oh, I know I'm spoiling closing statements. I'm sorry, but
this should have been a two-parter, and this should have been stretched out because there's a lot of really small threads that don't go anywhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get back to what actually happens on the episode. So Ben ends up, this is after Cassie has filled him in on everything she got from Kimberly. Ben, quote, fires, end quote, Cassie. And then Ben heads back to the clinic to talk to Dr. Lindstrom. Dr. Lindstrom agrees that she will be a witness for Ben. And then Ben asks her about the VHS tapes as a plan to get her to incriminate herself. And as we go back to the courtroom, it works. Because Ben asks Lindstrom about the tapes. Ben states that Halvern was stepping out on Lindstrom. So Halvern's getting around. He's having affairs with everybody at his clinic. Ben shows the tape where Lindstrom sneaks into the office and grabs the tape of Barbara's session because it's actually, due to the time constraints, it was actually started later, the tape. And so therefore it actually caught the killing of the doctor on it. And that this tape will reveal that Dr. Lindstrom is the killer. Were you surprised that it was Dr. Lindstrom?
No, I was not. But like I said, we went down a lot of rabbit holes that didn't necessarily need to be there.
The charges are dropped against Brett. Tyler finds out that Cassie has left town, and Ben goes to the bus depot and makes up with Cassie and rehires her.
Grabs a pretzel first, because when he's walking in to meet her, he's holding a pretzel or something.
Wait a minute. How did you come up with pretzel? Because I don't remember this.
He comes walking in with food.
It was a cinnamon roll.
Hey, he stopped and got a cinnamon roll then.
Wait, I only know that because he goes, oh, this bus depot has the best cinnamon rolls. I'm like, what? In what world do you go, fine cuisine equals bus depot?
I don't know. My grandfather used to really like hot dogs from a flea market.
Ugh.
Different generation, man.
Yeah, is that the grandfather that used to live on McGuffey that would walk to the IGA?
No, a different one.
Oh, okay.
It was when he smoked a carton a day.
Oh, okay. All right. With that, then, Jason, let's get to it, man. Let's get to our closing statements. All right, this is the part of the podcast where Jason and I are going to give a rating to this episode. We can give it 5 gavels, meaning it was an awesome episode, all the way down to 1 gavel, which is a pretty lousy episode. We will also give justification for the rating. Jason, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? You pick.
I'd go first. I was on a nice little run of liking these episodes. I think I've pretty much liked everything since like episode 4. Actually, I think I've liked this whole season so far, mostly. This episode was a huge letdown. Like I said, I didn't like the plot with the VHS tapes. It really went nowhere. The plot with the affair, again, didn't go anywhere. The goons were there for no reason. I'm not a huge Cassie fan, at least from this episode. I haven't seen her in subsequent episodes, but I'm judging her on this one. And in this one, it seemed very obvious that this was a Charlene replacement audition. And maybe that's why it kind of bugged me a little bit going into it. 'Cause it seemed very obvious that that's what they were trying to do. I like Tyler Hudson, but he also feels kind of wasted in this episode because nothing he really does results in anything of any importance. And then the end seems like it comes out of nowhere.
How many gavels?
1. My lowest rating so far. I wasn't a fan. People that are listening, if I'm wrong, message me. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Jason, you're not wrong. I gave it 1 gavel too. I could not come up with one single positive thing to say about this episode. This is probably the worst episode. I hated Cassie and Ben and their dynamic. I found Cassie to be an annoying character. Andy Griffith has no spark. His lousy acting. The killing, the motivation for the killing is very weak. There, again, as you said, there's random threads of the goons who show up, and then Tyler, I agree too, is wasted. There's so many more things that they could have done with him. I don't know what went on in the writer's room for this episode, but man, oh man, this is a hot mess. And yeah, it's a 1 gavel type of episode. So, and again, as Jason said, if you think that we're both full of hot air, let us know. You can do that a couple different ways. First of all, you can find us on Twitter. Just search for @MattTalk_podcast, or you can find us on Facebook. Look for Mattalk Podcast. That's @MattTalk Podcast. Jason, where can folks get in touch with us if they want to shoot us an email real quick?
Go to benmattalk@gmail.com. Say hello. Tell me all about yourself.
That sounds like you're going to steal their social security number and then like open credit cards and buy a house and all that jazz under their name.
I'm a single man, John, looking for a fellow Matlock fan.
Oh, jeez.
Email us at benmattalk.
You know what? Actually, that sounds better than trying to steal somebody's identity. So,
yeah, I don't want their social or birthday.
And by the way, I can vouch for this man. I've known him for many, many years. He would not do something like that.
Yeah, but how did they know they could trust you? Maybe we're in it together. Maybe we started a Matlock podcast just to get social security numbers.
The only way that anybody will find out is if they hire Ben Matlock to investigate us.
I've been Matlock. Hire Tyler Hudson.
Tyler Hudson. All right. All silliness aside, Jason, where can folks find you on the internet?
At 3GeeksJ, at 3Geeks Podcast, 3geeks.ninja, and you can catch us on the Scene Snobs.
All right. My own personal podcast as well as the PVD Cast. It's available at pvdcast.com. All of your major podcasting outlets. You can find me also on Twitter, by the way. Personal Twitter handle is at PVDMVP. And we've run down where you can get in touch with us on Facebook, Twitter, or email. We're going to keep on mentioning people's names who have checked us out. We appreciate it. Remember to circle on your calendars. The second and fourth Monday of every single month, you're getting a new episode of Matt Talk. And, I'm not going to be too shy to say this. Since we might be getting back to some sense of normalcy, we have some big plans for Matt Talk, don't we, Jason?
Yes. Or
yes, maybe a possible tour. But more details on that. Jason, we can't give that away just yet. We can't. We're going to leave you in suspense on that. So with that, we're rambling a little bit, but we're going to get on out of here. So as they say in court, nothing further. following has been a joint production of the Three Geeks Podcast and John Orlando Enterprises, LLC. Copyright 2021.